Apologies if you hear any wind. It is storming pretty badly out there, but there is a small new detail that I think is really interesting, and that might give us more insight into what next season is truly about and tie it into a larger theory that I had kind of as a joke a while ago. So yesterday, we of course got some new key art for episode 2, Revenant, as well as the new dungeon, which is called Vesper's Host. Pretty awesome key art. I really love that they're doing these more types of new fonts, and like they're giving everything, it helps everything feel more cohesive. Like every episode has an individual theme, and everything is going into that, as well as like the font, and I think that's really cool. But in this picture here, that's actually just kind of the reveal for the live stream on Tuesday. There's a couple hidden details, including one that's really interesting. Now, I didn't notice this at first. This was pointed out to me by Quantum, and thank you so much, because I haven't seen anyone talking about this, and it's really cool. So in the top left, it says Slayer Baron. We'll watch the trailer here in a second, but that's essentially what we are going to be next season. These sort of vampire hunters mixed with splicer technology. Pretty awesome. The interesting sort of quote here is going to be in the bottom right, and hopefully you can see that. Let me move me. It says Fikrul, Master of Souls. So it's very interesting as it ties into what that means. I had a kind of joking theory when the Echoes were first announced, what they were. These small things of immense power, and they all kind of do different things. They're Infinity Stones, right? Like, this sounds exactly like Infinity Stones. And it's really interesting that the Soul Stone is one of the Infinity Stones. And if you think about this season, Echoes, it's called the Echo of Command, but what is Maya really doing with it, the conductor? She's using mind control. She's using the Mind Stone. So I'm just saying, I don't know what they're building up to, and now that we're only getting 3 episodes, I don't know if Echoes are going to be the kind of MacGuffin force within Apollo or Behemoth, the 2 expansions that we get next year. I have no idea if they're going to drop this idea, but it seems very interesting that they're sort of going for the same thing. And we know, Maya disappeared with the Mind Stone. The Mind Stone, here I go, with the Echo of Command. I would imagine Fikrul's going to escape, and you could definitely see like that sort of power playing into the idea of the Hive pantheon, right? They could use something to control time and bring back an old Hive god. They could do like a reality changing one where they make it so orcs never died or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't necessarily think that's what they're going to be doing, but I can see ways where Bungie could, if they wanted to lean into that sort of Infinity Stone-esque thing, I think they could pretty easily, if you ask me. Or it could just be the Power Stone, the equivalent of that, right? And Shiva Wrath is now just super powerful because we know, she can't die, or else she's dead now that she doesn't have a throne world. So just an interesting way that plays in. But I want to focus on this specifically. Fikrul, Master of Souls. Fikrul, Master of Souls, right there. I think that's really interesting because if you think about the difference between like the mind or the mind controlling Echo and like a soul controlling Echo here, I think it ties in really nicely to the narrative as well. We know, and we'll watch the trailer here where they kind of discuss that. This is the journey ahead where they first revealed the episodes. But we know that, the Fallen and the Scorn, they're kind of out of leaders now, with the exception of Fikrul. Their belief systems are all over the place. The Fallen used to believe in machine gods, but now, they've been betrayed, and there's all sorts of new revelations. And then some of them worship the Witness, and now the Witness is dead. All their houses are gone. Aramis is gone. The Scorn were abandoned, and we learned in Warlord's Ruin that they're starting to kind of develop their own culture and their own rituals and stuff. So I can see the story being that you have all these disenfranchised fractions, and you can count the Dread too, because in the trailer we see Fikrul has Scorn ships, Fallen ships, and Pyramid ships And maybe Fikrul is using this kind of soul bending echo to, you know, kind of change everyone's intentions on sort of like a cultural or spiritual or, you know, sort of that kind of like Destiny religious sense, to get them to maybe worship him or you know, kind of corrupt them in a way. It's sort of like taking, I would say. So let's listen to what they say in the trailer. This is at 2 minutes and 10 seconds in this if you want to see this yourself.
Revenant is going to be very Fallen themed.
The Fallen don't have a home planet anymore. Reese has been gone for a long time, and they've been looking for a new home across the galaxy.
Revenant has more dark fantasy themes.
And this plays into that, like if you corrupted their soul or you know, you have to unify them somehow. The Fallen are notoriously like very split in their belief systems and how they go about that. You know, you have the different houses and everything that's happened over the last decade with that. Then you have the Scorn and potentially the Dread on top of that. It's going to be hard to motivate all of them to be a singular force, to look for a singular home, which is where this sort of soul stone, echo of souls, whatever you want to call it, that makes Fikrul the master of souls. You could definitely see how they're paving that narrative.
Fires with a touch of Splicer mixed in.
The player gets to be a Slayer Baron. We'll learn that in Elixni culture, this was a role that was reserved for the most renowned monster hunters.
For that one, we took a really hard lean into the vampire hunter fantasy.
We're introducing a system called potion crafting. Combat potions boost your artifact directly, then your loot.
This doesn't really play into my theory at all, but with vampire hunters, you know, vampires sometimes don't have a soul, like this sort of thing, you know what I mean? I could definitely see this all tying together for this.
Next step.
Fikrul is back, and he's got the echo. And this is what Fikrul's using to build his new Army of Darkness. And he's moved into an
Army of Darkness, like that sort of thing, like that idea of like an undead army, corrupted army, that sort of thing, like very soulless, right?
Fikrul's Vampire Keep. We took a lot of inspiration from horror for that one.
So that's kind of like all they're saying there, but I think this is a really interesting detail, and I wasn't gonna make a video on this last night when I saw it, and then I just kept thinking about it, and I'm like, no, that's actually pretty cool. So let me know your thoughts down below. Sorry, this was more of a rambly video, but I kind of love this direction. I hope eventually we get to collect all the echoes and use them ourselves in some way, however that manifests. But we'll just have to wait and see. So let me know what you think down below. Love your faces. Have a great day. See ya.